You know, sometimes I think for my weirder videos, I should probably have some kind of a disclaimer for how weird a topic's gonna be. And then I remember you're on my channel and I am a walking pile of weird, so you already know it's coming. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello. My name is Loey. When you get the "this is gonna be a weird one" disclaimer before the actual intro, you know it's gonna be a little odd, right? This is honestly like not even something I was sure I wanted to talk about, but it's something that I am so kind of like into and engrossed in that I thought it would be silly of me not to share it, just because I'm not sure everyone is gonna find it as freaky as I do. Basically, if you're a fan of like all those creepypastas with the hacked game cartridges and the lost episodes and things not behaving in the way that they should from our childhood, I think you'll really like today's video. Those are like my favorite things. Like my favorite creepypastas are all the ones about the haunted game cartridges, because it feels so connected to like our upbringing and our childhood, but it's a little off. It's a little weird. It's weird in a way that you didn't experience it, but it could also feel plausible. And that's kind of what this new trend on YouTube reminds me of all of these anti-piracy screens surfacing from old video games. And piracy is pretty scary, right? When we were growing up, or at least my fellow old people who grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, we always got those weird little like warning, they were almost like commercials, like ads for the fact that piracy was a crime, and they were just made to scare the crap out of us. They were in like black and white, and it ended with like people getting locked up for pirating movies and stuff, and it was really scary. Regardless, this kind of warning didn't stop us from getting into, I'm sure, pirating games and doing other things, but this fear of it weirdly has kind of stuck around until 2021. And I'm not talking about the actual act of piracy, which can land you in jail and get you fines and all of that. Can it actually land you in jail? Can piracy land you in jail? I don't know. That's what the commercials made me think when I was a kid, so they clearly did their job. But I have rambled on long enough. The reason that this is coming up is that at the end of last year, I stumbled across a video. Now, this is from a YouTube account called Joey Perlioni, who shared an anti-piracy screen from Mario Party DS. In this video, as Luigi approaches Monty Mole's little shop to do some shopping with all the coins he's earned over his hard couple of rounds around the board, I'm sure, Monty Mole goes through his typical like dialogue, and then there's a pause. And he says, "I'm sorry, I don't serve criminals." And I feel like the collective world's jaw just dropped. I paused the video, I ran to my brother, I was like, "You've got to see this video. Is this not just the craziest thing ever? That the game knows that you pirated it and punished you in game for saying that it won't serve criminals." But the video doesn't stop there. What follows is a boss battle with Monty Mole, and it's a little weird, stating that in the rules there is nothing you can do, and also a single word: run. As Monty Mole rushes towards the player character, the software glitches out and we get a myriad of different error messages, as well as a piracy software detected message. We then have a message that states, "It is a serious crime to pirate video games. Please power off the system and report this software immediately." And it ends with this creepy little jingle, along with all of our favorite characters behind bars. And honestly, I'm sure a lot of people who saw this probably took it to heart and thought it was real. It was such a well done video, and I'm sure a million people like me ran to someone else in their family giggling about how scary anti-piracy screens used to be. As it turns out though, this video was created by Joey Perlioni, who has now posted multiple creations similar to this. He's not the only one making these anti-piracy screens, but his, for me, was certainly the one that went the most viral, and then I saw that kind of like led me down the rabbit hole, and then I was kind of addicted. But he made another one showcasing how the other player characters on the board would be removed in case of piracy of the game. So it basically goes around the board and it says, you know, it's Peach's turn, but Peach is nowhere to be found. And then it's Mario's turn, but Mario doesn't seem to want to party. So when it finally gets to the player character, Luigi asks, "Where did everyone go?" Turns out, no one wants to party with a criminal, and Luigi is promptly swallowed by the earth. If you pirate video games, you're gonna be swallowed by the earth. Where are you gonna go? Who knows? The earth's gonna just swallow you. I feel like that's kind of cool. That's not even a punishment. That's like, we don't know what's down there. Someone needs to probably do that. But it ends with like the same software piracy detected screens. There's another one by the same creator where you have to like play this mini game that I'm pretty sure is actually in the game. I only really got into Mario Party this year, and it's because my friend Eleanor showed me it and was like, this is so fun, we have to play it. And we are each other's only friends, so we always just play it against the CPUs. But anyway, it seems like a normal mini game where you have to bring the shy guy, the little masked man, candy that he's craving. But suddenly he craves Luigi, and as we hear this ear like tingling, awful nails on a chalkboard, like static sound mixed with just something weird. I don't know. I really don't like it. As he's craving Luigi, he swallows him whole, and once again we get the piracy software detected notice. Now if you want to watch all of these in full with all of the noise and everything, I'm actually going to have it linked down below. I probably chopped out all of the noise in this video just in fear of copyright. He has another video showing what happens if you don't power off the system when it tells you to. At the end of every single one of these, it says, you know, you got to power off the system and report the stolen software immediately. The game asks you really politely in Japanese to power off the system. I'm okay at Japanese, so hopefully I got that right with my limited information. I heard kudasai and I was like, oh, I know that word. When you don't comply, it forces you into a piracy self-report, what seems like a form.
911, what's your emergency?
It searches for an access point, connects to the internet, and then literally dials 911. And you have to report yourself to the police for being a criminal. Like, can you even imagine? If I had seen that when I was a kid, I would have pooped my pants. Like, that is terrifying. That's so scary. The game calling 911 on you. And it seems like something Nintendo would do. They're crazy. Don't double cross. If you're gonna pirate a video game, don't do it. Just don't. I'm not encouraging that behavior, but don't do it from Nintendo because they're crazy. Hypothetically, like in a world, if I ever pirated a video game, which I didn't, this is a completely fictional story that never happened ever. Mr. FBI man, it just never happened, but like I'm gonna tell it like it did, but it's not real. So when I was in high school in this fictional world, I downloaded a copy of Pokemon Black because Pokemon Black was not out in the United States at this point. This was at a time where like the launching of Pokemon games was staggered. So Japan would get it first, and then basically we would get an English release like 6 months later. So in this fictional world, I downloaded Pokemon Black, and I did talk to a character. Now this was a fan translated project. Like the Pokemon names were not correct. Tepig was called Pokeboo in the game, and I was really confused in this hypothetical world where I actually played Pokemon Black because I was like, who in the heck is Tepig? That's Pokeboo. Anyway, so this could have been somebody planting this in. When I talked to someone in like the starting town, they said, I don't want to talk to you, criminal, buy the game, or something along those lines. I don't remember it exactly, but it scared me as a kid. Like, well, I was in high school. I was old enough to know better, but it still scared me. Not enough to stop playing, but like it scared me, and it scared me enough to remember it to this day, but I made it up. Obviously. There's so many of these anti-piracy screens that I want to talk about, all from such incredibly creative people who have made these. Actually one called, well, it's one from a channel called Zerover. This one showcases a supposed Mario Kart Wii anti-piracy screen. Once the piracy is detected, all of the characters on the screen and all of the characters in Mario Party all have their eyes blacked out. It feels very much so like a creepypasta, and I love it. So basically all of the characters' eyes are blacked out, and you can now play as a character whose name is just like a series of exclamation points and question marks. The game transports you into this glitched, like dark, the colors are almost inverted in this version of one of the maps to race before immediately telling you that the game can't be played. Even Animal Crossing isn't safe. Did you think Animal Crossing was safe from anti-piracy? No, absolutely not. In this video from This guy's name is Anthony, but with a C instead of an O. Tom Nook detects as you boot up your game that you are in the possession of a pirated copy of this video game. Like, Tom Nook. You guys are buds in Animal Crossing New Leaf, you and Tom Nook. You're the mayor, after all. So while he knows you're playing an illegal copy, he'll help you out for a small fee of 200 million bells. 200 million bells. I have never had that many bells in any Animal Crossing game. That is so much money. But if for some reason you do have it, and Tom Nook checks your player balance and sees you have that much money, he'll tell you to pay up before confessing that he is just kidding. Did you really think there was a way out? You're playing an illegal copy of this game. No one wants a criminal as a mayor. And then Porter the monkey will then drive the player to jail. You gotta go live in Animal Crossing jail. It's so sad. It's so funny. It's hysterical. In another video from the same creator, Isabel detects the pirated software instead. And she basically says she has learned of your game piracy, and then the game is like forced shut down. Now, there's this one from a user called Cheese with a Z instead of an S, and it's filled with like jump scares and just like weird audio, so I'm not gonna play most of it, but I wanted to point out that it really consists of these like highly contrasted black and red images of Creepypasta's past. This feels like something from like 2012 and I'm obsessed. Look at this image and tell me that's not a lost cartridge Creepypasta. It's really, really, really weird. So this one has like some darker imagery that again, I'm not gonna show. And I feel like the jump scare ones I don't enjoy as much. I'd rather the players just creep me, or the players, I'd rather the characters of these games that I love creep me out. There are so many of these, it's not even funny. With everything from Final Fantasy titles to Harvest Moon games. We could literally be here for hours discussing them. Those were just a few of my favorites that I found. And if you guys want another video or even like a live stream looking into more of these, I could be very interested in doing so. I kind of just wanted to do a small array of my favorite scariest ones because I know this isn't like, I feel like a video that you'd normally find on my channel, but I still think it's creepy. Okay, I hope you're creeped out. But why is the internet so obsessed with these anti-piracy screens to the point where every single one that's going up is getting tens and hundreds of thousands of views, some of them even going into the millions? Well, it's because we know that piracy is actually very bad, and it is genuinely a bad thing. Not even just because it's a crime, because video game developers and artists and so much more deserve to be paid and recognized for their hard work. We shouldn't be playing their games for free. I think what scares us so bad is that if we saw these screens as children, we would still know that piracy is bad, that we shouldn't be playing the game illegally. And it's this weird mix of like one part nostalgia, one part childhood fears realized and come into like fruition, where it's this thing much like the Lost episodes, the haunted game cartridges, where it is something we remember, something we can hold really tangibly in our little noggins. Like, we have this memory of these things. We know that these anti-piracy screens never existed, but they feel just right enough that it crawls under your skin. These would have scared the crap out of us as kids. Are you kidding me? If Tom Nook came and was like, I'm gonna charge you 200 bells, and he realizes I don't have enough money and then he sends me to Animal Crossing jail, that would scare me so bad. That would have had to be on a way older copy of Animal Crossing. That would have had to be on the GameCube though. I was an adult when New Leaf came out, I think. I know this was something a little bit different, but I would love if you guys would let me know what you think of this down below. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you very, very much, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, don't pirate any video games. All right.